I was introduced to the rotary cutter, and it dramatically changed my entire world. It's changed the quilting industry for almost every quilter that is out there today. WESTALEE Design, when they designed the ruler foot, they dramatically have changed that way quilters are quilting. Long armers have had rulers for a long time, but our domestic quilters were at a disadvantage. We've never had those amazing products that could advance our skills. I have so many people say that I can't free motion, that I don't know how to do it, that I'm no good at it. Ruler work is not free motion, it's guided motion. I already know where I'm going, and all I have to focus on is just keeping the foot attached to the ruler until I'm at the end of the line. So it's really a big advancement, helping people to make their quilts as beautiful as they want and really changing the level of skill that our domestic quilters are going to see.
Good morning, it's Stacy with Sew Steady, and we are so excited to have you all joining us today. We are going to be sharing with you our patchwork class today, which is not just a patchwork class, it is also a class that is sharing with you some of our amazing embroidery designs. Now, don't forget, all of our embroidery designs you can make with quilting rulers too. So the designs are inspired by our WESTALEE design quilting templates. And every single design that you see in our catalog of our WESTALEE Design Embroidelee collection are all inspired by designs that our rulers made first. So today we're going to be exploring the Pinwheel series by Leonie West, and you'll see some of these amazing inspirations in a Pinwheel book. And this is a book that Leonie created. So this book is actually available on our Sew Steady website, but today we are going to actually be giving away one of these books for free to one of our viewers. So definitely make lots of comments during this class. Share with us what you love about some of these different pinwheel designs, and then we'll be picking a winner at the end of the class today. So definitely a great opportunity. And then one other opportunity today, if you decide that you would love to make some of these pinwheel blocks, then please consider going ahead and giving us the opportunity to give you one of the Pinwheel book as a digital download for free with the purchase of our Pinwheel Patchwork tool set. So there's actually two sets available. You can either buy the 6-inch patchwork tool set or the 12-inch, and we're going to have our educator share all of that detail with you today during her class. So it's actually a pretty short class. It's only about 35 minutes where she's going to take you through creating the block and then how to repeat. And then she's going to show you her finished piece, which ends up being a 24 by 24 quilted block. So great table topper or whatever you'd like. And then she's going to show you how she chose to quilt it with the WESTALEE or the Embroidelee inspired by the WESTALEE Design feather designs. So let's go ahead and have Melissa, our educator for our patchwork class today, take it away with her autumn leaf pinwheels class. And so I'll have her go ahead and we'll get started with her video.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our patchwork project of the month. So hopefully you have been practicing your piecing. I know that since our last project, I had actually went to my local quilt shop. They had a 3-hour piecing class. And even though I know some, I thought it would be fun to just take an actual in-person class and just learn some of the basics that, you know, maybe I wasn't even taught, or things that I skipped over because I didn't realize how important they are. And anyways, it was a great class. It was $20. It was 3 hours. And then the instructor had a 4-page document with all these different tips and tricks, which I just loved. So hopefully you have a local quilt shop that you get to go in and take in-person classes in. I really liked it. I think it just helped build some confidence, but also just some enthusiasm for projects, as piecing, especially for me anyways, can be sometimes very frustrating. So, and I also learned how important clappers are. Do you guys have a clapper? I've never used one before, but I've since purchased one and I love it. They actually do help with the seams. So let's get started. So for September, I thought we would explore the WESTALEE design pinwheel tool set. I don't know how many of you have seen this or actually looked into it, but you know, pinwheels, the traditional pinwheel is not my favorite because I think pinwheels are really difficult, especially, you know, if you're a bit of a perfectionist and you're trying to get like all these little teeny points to match up. But when I started looking at the Exploring the WESTALEE Pinwheel Tool Set, this actual book that Leonie put together, Leonie West, the designer, I couldn't believe all of the different patterns that you can make. So this book is actually wonderful. I'll show you just a little bit of it right here, and then after I'm done doing the introduction, I'll put up some images and stuff to it. But anyways, I'm gonna see how many pages it is. 40 pages, I guess. So what she does is we have a pinwheel tool set, which I'll show you here in a minute as well. But she gives you all of these different layouts that you can do with the pinwheel tool set. And there's just hundreds of them. It's amazing. So sometimes it can be hard, I know, to get started struggling with like, oh, what kind of a block do I want to use for my quilts? And so this is really neat because she gives you so many ideas, and not all of them look, I'll just point out a few. Not all of them look like your traditional pinwheel. You have some of these that, you know, for instance, hopefully you guys can see that very well. Those don't really look like your traditional pinwheel, but look at this. Look at this one. I'll show you guys that one up close later, but this one is amazing looking. So all of these tools help you make a 6-inch block, and then you put together 6 of them and you have a finished 12-inch block to use. And then from there you can keep, you know, growing and creating as big a project as you want. But anyways, there is so much with this. You would have inspiration for years on doing quilt projects. So anyways, I love that. So the actual pinwheel set, this is what you're going to get as far as instructions, and you get quite a bit of instructions too with it. You get a couple different patterns to make with the actual pinwheel set. But what it is it's, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 different cutting tools. So you have 8 different cutting tools, and they're all labeled with a letter on them. So you have A through F, G, H, yeah. And they're different shapes. So you can take these tools, cutting tools, and you can twist them, you can reverse cut, and that's what gives you all of the different varieties of blocks that you can do. It just is really a great tool set. So I think I'll be doing a lot of projects based on this pinwheel tool set that will show off in our Patchwork Club. But for the one that I chose for September, it looks like this. It is called Autumn Leaf. So it's going to look like that. And here is a finished sample of the block itself. Kind of a fun looking block, and it's called Autumn Leaf again. So I thought that would work out nice for September. So I'll choose some fun fabric for that. And then we're going to do 4 12-inch blocks. So it'll be a 24 by 24 inch finished project, which we can finish it then, or we can add a border, or you can continue adding to it and make a bigger project if you like. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And then the quilting focus for this month is going to be feathers. So we can use the Embroidelee feather designs, which I'll be using, but we also have a host of feather templates as well that I'll be kind of showing how they could be used on this project too. So we have a lot of feather templates, and we have a lot of education out there on how to use a feather template. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then once I get everything ready, I'll be back. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you a little bit of a slideshow on some of the different designs that the book has, on the actual tools themselves, and what we're going to be doing. So I'll be back with you soon. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on the cutting. Hopefully you guys got to see a little sneak peek of what was in the book. And I put in a little borders in there too. She's got 2 pages or 3 pages on different borders you can do. Anyways, there's a lot to the book. So if you guys don't have this book, it definitely is a must-have. So one of the nice things too, which I showed you kind of a close-up, is you'll see she gives you like a little diagram of what cutting template you're going to need to use for the block that you're going to make. And so there was A through, I think, what was it, H? You get the different cutting tools. So this is going to be using A, C, D, and then when you see an R after it, that means it's reverse. So you're basically going to be taking the template and you'd be flipping it and cutting it the other way. So that's what the R means. So right now I'm going to start with C. So it looks like I just need C going the one way. And C you can see. So you can see on the block, it looks like I've got 2 on this side of the block and 2 on that side of the block. So 4 per block of the shape of C. And then I'm doing 4 12-inch blocks. So I'm going to need 16 of these little guys. So that's what I'm going to get started with. And one thing I noticed too, I don't know if you guys have better mats than me, but I got this really, I guess it's just a cheapo Fiskars cutting mat. I need to get a better one, but it's almost like hard plastic. And so sometimes when I'm cutting, I was getting really frustrated because I was like, I'm starching my fabric, I'm doing everything right, and still my points weren't turning out. But what was happening is when I was going to cut, this was like shifting slightly. So you really want the actual template that you're using, obviously, to not move at all. It's already got the seam allowance built into it. But what I ended up doing is just using our staple tape. I had some extra of the strips that we used to have, and I just put staple tape on it so it helps it kind of stay in place when I'm cutting. And then I'm just going to start with a straight edge, obviously, and I'm going to start cutting these out. So I need 16 of them. And you just use the black guide again. They all have this guide on them. So you just butt the guide up to the edge of the fabric and start cutting them out. I suppose you could layer this, like we've talked about this with Stash Busters before, and do maybe a couple layers of fabric at the one time. I personally don't have a lot of great success when I stack the fabric. I feel like the one underneath always shifts or something, and I don't know, maybe that's because of the cutting mat I have too. So I don't like stacking them, but there you go. We're going to cut out 16 of those, and I decided to use for my background, it's going to be this just a white kind of polka dotted with different colors on it to be kind of the main background fabric, and then I'll show you what I'm going to use when we get to cutting the other fabrics. But anyway, so I'm going to cut out 16 of those, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm back. So I got 16 of number C done, and now I'm going to do D. So D is going to be these ones right here. So I'm going to do D and D reverse because they're mirrored. So because I need 16 of each, I'm going to do 8 one way and then 8 reversed. So I've got my D. And then you can tell which way is up because it does have the engraving on it. So I almost dropped it. So I'm going to do 8 this way, and then I'm going to flip it and do 8 the back way. And that'll give me my 16. So I'm going to go ahead and get those cut now. Okay, so I got a little ahead of myself here, but I went ahead and got the other designs cut out. So I have these, which were E, both the reverse and the other one. And then I had the D, which was 8 of the reverse and 8 of it going the other way. And then all of the C's, which were going the same way. So now I'm going to be cutting out A, which looks like this. So A is going to be, let me just get the sample one right here again. So A is going to be these 3 right here. So I have the polka dot colors, which are going to be all of the white that you see in this block. And then I decided to go with an orange, well, yellow, an orange, and a blue. And I'm going to put those right here. And I thought those were kind of nice fall-y summer colors. So, and then they match the little polka dot colors that are in the polka dots. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut up so I need 16 of each color. So 16 yellow, 16 orange, and 16 of the blue. So I'm going to get my fabric starched, and then I'm going to get all of those cut out. And then that should be it for the cutting, and we'll go to actually laying out the blocks and getting them pieced together. Stay tuned. Okay, and I did go ahead. I think I'm going to try, because I have to do so many, to stack my fabric, even though I said I don't usually like to do that, but it's not going to be that many. So I went ahead and used, again, with all of our cutting tools, they have the black guide, and that also lets you use our adjustable crosshair ruler to make sure that you adjust it, and you only have to cut the width, or the, with the strip of fabric that you need, so you're not wasting anything. So I went ahead and butted that up there, so you can see it looks like I'm right about at 2 inches. So I'm going to cut myself some strips of fabric and get those cut. Okay, so this right here, this little diagram is going to give us the full 12-inch block. So I'm just going to piece it together doing a 6-inch, a 6-inch, a 6-inch, and a 6-inch. So I just kind of follow the colors, and you can see the layout of each of the different patterns we cut out. So light, medium, dark. So I just picked my colors. And then we have the triangle, so C is going to go over here. And then when you're looking at these ones, you just look for the different edges to know which way to turn it. So I have that one going there and that one going there. So that is what the block is going to look like. And, well, at least the 1 6-inch block. So we're going to do 4 of these. But so then I'm just going to piece these together, and build this block. And so I'm going to do all 4, and but I'll do one at a time, and then we'll do 4 of those, and then what we'll do is square them up before we actually put it together to make our first 12-inch block. So anyways, I'm going to get started on piecing, and we'll go over to the machine. Okay, so we are ready to start piecing these together. So to start, I took one of A, and I'm just following the diagram that's kind of in the book, and one of C, and I'm gonna piece those together. And one of the things that I thought was kind of neat in the piecing class that I took, which I'd never really done before. So, you know, I iron and starch my pieces and the fabric and everything, but when you go to piece them and you're flipping the one over on top of the other, she told me to set my fabric, meaning I press these 2 together again, and it kind of helps them stay together while I'm piecing. So I thought that was just an extra step that I've never really done before, and it does help because it kind of almost kind of like melds them together a little bit, so then they don't move and everything. And then also making sure my thread is back out behind my foot. I didn't do that very much. And also having a little runner piece of fabric, which I will grab, because my machine, I don't know what your guys' machines do, but mine tends to eat my fabric all the time. I don't know why, if it just needs cleaned or what the deal is, but it tends to eat my fabric a lot if I don't have something in there to start. So anyways, I'm just going to do my 1/4-inch foot, and I just have a piecing stitch on, and I'm just going to sew these 2 together and go on to the next piece. I really like the 1/4-inch foot with the guide because it just helps me keep it all nice and straight. So I'm just going to sew that piece, and then I'm going to grab my other 2 and keep going. Have I'm sitting over here on my pressing mat. So I'm gonna grab those real quick and get these pieced together as well. So line this one up here, make sure that one is kind of moved a little bit. So, okay. And I found out too, I mostly just need to slow down. I tend to kind of go too fast and you think, oh, I have everything lined up right. But then you start going fast and things just turn out wonky. I think I did, I don't know, 4 test blocks before I started the class, and each one turned out a little bit differently because I don't know why. I'm using the same tools and same everything, but apparently I have trouble recreating the same thing more than once. But anyways, I found that if I slowed down and took my time and stopped skipping steps, it turned out much better. So, and just like, you know, taking the time to realign things if they're shifting a little bit. And I think in the past, I tended to just kind of like rush through everything, and then why are my, you know, points not lining up and my seams are all wonky. So anyways, we're going to go over and we'll get these pressed and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so here are all 3 of them pressed, and I did press to the dark. I did press to a side. I didn't press them open. On one of my practice blocks, I did it both ways. I tried pressing it open and tried pressing to the side. And for this particular block in the design, it turned out better. Everything lined up a lot better when I pressed it to the side. So that's what I'm going to recommend, and it's what I'm going to be doing. So I've got all 3 of those together. So then now I'm going to just start putting these together. So I'm going to start with probably doing the middle one to the first one and get that done, and I'll come back and add that one to it. And then that would be one finished 6-inch block. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, so I'm just taking a little bit of time to make sure everything is lined up good. And I did press these together. But anyways, just taking a little bit extra time, make sure it all lines up pretty good. I'm always amazed at how much time I can spend lining everything up and cutting everything and making sure everything is perfectly cut, and then I go to piece it together and stuff doesn't line up. Like, how is that like Murphy's Law? How does that work? Anyways, I guess you can't ever be too perfect. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna put those 2 together, and then I'm gonna go ahead and press that and get the other piece and be right back. So on these blocks too, I think it's really important to spend time lining up the points where these 3 A fabric sections come together down here. And because we are going to be putting together 4 of those, so that is going to create like a little pinwheel area as we start building the blocks together. And so spending time now really lining that up will help make our points line up later. So anyways, there we go. This will be one finished 6-inch block. Goes fast, and I'm gonna go press that. But that's what it's gonna look like. I'll show you guys it all pressed too. right, there's block 1, and then block 2 is done now. So that's what it's starting to look like. I'm gonna go ahead and get block 3, and then I'll show you a little sneak peek. All right, there is all 4 done. So that is what that block's gonna look like. What do you guys think of the colors? It's not my normal color palette that I like, but I thought it would be fun for fall, kind of summery fall. So anyways, that is what the block looks like. So I'm going to show you how to square it up next, because we're going to square these up before we piece the 4 together. And then we'll go on to piecing these 4 together and have our first finished 12 by 12 block. Okay, so to square it up, I am going to use our new Make It Square trim guide, which we have, if you've seen this. It's a nifty little guide. You can use a lot of different tools. If you have different squaring tools, you can use those as well, but I liked this one. It's pretty handy. It's got a lot of the lines on it that you need. So this one is a little tricky because we know it needs to be a finished 6 by 6 inch block, but it's kind of know where do you start because there's so many different angles. So the nice thing is we have this 45-degree angle printed on our Make It Square guide. And then I also have this 3-inch mark right here. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so I'm going to use this 3-inch as well because I know, well, half of 6 is 3. So what I'm going to do is use that 45-degree angle, and I'm going to get it so it's right in the middle of my center color because I know that's going to be, that needs to be centered in the block. And then I'm going to line up the 3-inch right on this piece line here because that should be about half of the 6-inch block right there. So I'm going to line that up, make sure that is coming right through that point right there. Come right up. This is lined up right there. And then I'm just going to cut this and this. And then that's going to give me my first straight corner that I can use to square up the other way. So that is now square. Then I'm going to flip it, and I have my 6-inch line right here. I'm going to put that right there now on that squared up corner. Make sure it's lined up all across the top, all across the side. And now I just need to trim up that side and that side. And that will give me my get on the right side here, make sure I'm cutting the right way. Oops, sorry about that. I did order a rotating mat. I just haven't gotten it yet, so this isn't as easy to do when I'm filming, but make sure all that's coming off. Yep. And that is as easy as that. And now I have my squared up 6-inch block. So I'm going to do that on the other 4. Okay, so I have these 2 pieced together and these 2 pieced together. And I'm going to go ahead and now piece both sections together. So one thing you want to keep in mind, so when you are piecing them, like what I'm trying to work on is making sure those points right there line up. I'm a little off there, just a smidgen. And so then now that we're going to put these 2 together, we're going to want to make sure this lines up, that lines up, that, and that all the way. So I'll probably do some pinning. And then I did make sure these seams are going opposite directions. So I have this one pressed this way and that one pressed that way. That way they'll just nest together a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and get these now pieced, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so here is the finished block. So that's how it turned out. I think everything lined up pretty good. So there's only 2 that I wasn't super happy with that. So that lined up really well. Those, my middle lined up just great. Those were a little good, but there's always those ones, right? So this one was a little off, and then over here was a little off. But you know what? We're not going to notice that because we're going to be putting 4 of these together, and we're going to have a border, and we're going to be doing some quilting. So anyways, that is what the block is going to look like. So that'll be fun. Give us a nice area in here for quilting. And anyways, I'm going to go now. That's got one. We just need to do this 4 more times. And then that will be our finished panel that we can start doing some quilting and other fun stuff with. So I will keep you guys updated with a few photos and videos, but otherwise we're going to go ahead and just repeat this again and make 4 more of these. Here's just a quick sneak peek at 2 of them now done, laid out side by side. So I wanted you to see the kind of pattern it's starting to create, and just to give you kind of a update on where I'm at. So I've got 2 done now, and I need to do 2 more. So anyways, that is what it's looking like. Okay, I have all 4 sections done, and this is what it looks like. So I haven't pieced the 4 sections together, so yeah, these will still need to be pieced together, but that is all 4 done. And I love the pattern it's creating in the middle. I'm a little nervous because there's a lot of points to match up when I get it all pieced together. But I do like the shape of the pattern. I like the design, is kind of cool. I think it would look really neat in a variety of different like colors and patterns and stuff. So anyways, I wanted you guys to see it. And then I'm going to go ahead and piece the 4 sections together, and hopefully things line up pretty good. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's all done. Okay, so here is what the project is going to look like. I got those sections all pieced together. I showed you a picture of that. So that's all done. It was a fun project to learn on. I really enjoyed it. I could see myself doing this one again, and making actually a bigger project that I'm not doing for a class, but kind of keep building on it, because I just love the designs you get here in the middle as you're doing it, and then just how it finishes on the edge too when you decide to stop, depending on how big you want to go. So I really liked it. There's some areas for improvement that I could work on, but overall I am really pleased with it. I think it is a fun design. I think you guys are going to like it. And then I went ahead and just pieced on a border. I did a 4-inch border, and I wanted to make it a little bit wider because I'm going to do some embroidery on the sides of it too, or we could do ruler work on the side, whichever. But anyways, that is going to be the panel that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to start picking out some designs to do the quilting, and we'll move on to that next. Okay, so I think I showed you some images of the border that I put on here. It's kind of different because this isn't really my color scheme that I normally work with, but I thought the bright green kind of played off the other colors in here, so I'm just going to go with it. Anyways, I started my embroidery on this, and this is the first design that I chose as part of our feathers embroidery collection. And this design is also based off of our feather leaf templates. So if you have the feather leaf templates, you can make this same design, or you can do it with embroidery now with our new embroidery line. So that's what that looks like in the middle. I'm going to add a few more embroidery designs around the outside. I'm not sure which ones yet, but I will should give you a little sneak peek at the ones that I've chosen, and I'm just going to keep on finishing this project and see how it ends up looking. So anyways, that's the first embroidery design. And again, these are based on all of our feather template sets. So there'll be different designs that I've chosen, and again, they're all designs that can be made with our feather templates as well if you don't have an embroidery machine. So anyways, I'm gonna keep going, and I'll keep you posted. Okay, so this is the pattern that I've chosen for the next design, and I'm gonna have it kind of come up here and go out that way and go out that way. Thought that would kind of look nice. So I'm gonna try that, see what it looks like. I've still got my green thread to match my green border, and we're gonna get this stitched out. All right, there's the feather design. So I think that's kind of fun. It's like going the reverse of what the pattern in the patchwork is doing. So I'm going to do that. I have 4 of those, so I'm going to do all 4 the exact same way. And I'm going to just get started on that next. It's about a 6-minute stitch out, so not bad. And I did a triple stitch, so it shows up just a little bit more. And yeah, I'm going to go get the other ones done. I'll keep you posted. So here's the next design I'm going to be doing for the 4 corners, and it's based on our circle leaf feathered wreath template set, and that's what it looks like. And I'm going to be doing that in all 4 corners, and we are getting started. Okay, so I got my 4 corners done, and there is the circle leaf feather wreath design for the little corners. We had those that I showed you earlier, so I have those going on these ones. And the 4 corners done again. So I think last but not least, I'm gonna add a feather design on the border here. And I think I'm gonna pick some thread color that matches one of these colors that'll stand out, and I'll do a border on all 4 corners. And then I think that'll call it good. So anyways, that is what it looks like right now. Okay, so I wanted you guys to see what I decided to do for the borders. So this is one of the feather designs, and this is just made with our feather templates, and this is our feather embroidery border pattern. And so I just did 2 of them. This is a 10-inch in length, and I just put 2 back to back like that. So I'm going to do that all the way around the border, so it'll be 2 hoopings on each side, so it's not bad, and it's only a 2-minute or 3-minute stitch out. And I just did a little bit of an orange color to contrast with the green and pick up on that. So I'm gonna do that all the way around, and then I think that will finish our project. So I'm gonna get started on that, and then I'll show you the finished panel. So I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at the border again. This is how it's looking. And then this is what happens when you turn your back on your embroidery machine for 2 seconds. It came out of the hoop and it continued to try to embroider. So lucky me, I get to pull all of these out and then do it again. So yeah. Anyways, do not turn your back on your embroidery machine. Ugh. All right, here is the finished project. After I spent hours pulling out those other stitches, that was a big pain. But anyways, I got it done, and I've got the border all the way around, and I've got my feather borders on there. Sorry about the shadow. And anyways, I think it looks really good. I didn't leave myself a lot of room to put on my binding, but that's okay. It's kind of a sample anyways. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I really like doing the feathers as the border. I think that looks really good, and it fills out the space nicely and just gives it a finished look. So that is our autumn leaf September patchwork project of the month with the feather embroidery designs. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you like the finished look. It was kind of fun going outside of my typical like colors and stuff that I like, but you know, it's fun to do something different and see what it looks like. I'm not a big green and orange person, but yeah, just seemed to work with this project. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you haven't checked out our Pinwheel book with all of those great block designs in it, be sure to do so. Yeah, it's got a lot of inspiration in it and a lot of great quilt ideas that you could just do for a long time because there's so many different variations. Anyways, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and there it is. I'm gonna put up a finished photo of it, and we'll see you next month.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Autumn Leaf Pinwheel class. We are going to go ahead and pick a winner for the Pinwheel book, inspiration book that she shared today in the video. And then I just wanted to remind everyone, you do have the opportunity to go ahead and get this book for free if you decide to purchase one of the Pinwheel tool sets. If you go onto our website under the Pinwheel, you will find the two options for the tool sets. There's a tool set for the 12-inch pinwheels and then a 6-inch pinwheel set. So go ahead and check that out. And then let me go ahead and work on picking a winner today. I agree. I thought Melissa did a really, really good job in her overall explanation, showing lots of inspiration along the way, and giving you a lot of different ideas. And I loved hearing some of your feedback on, maybe adding some designs in the corners, which could easily be done. Maybe another one of those circular designs in the corners would have been really cute too. So many different possibilities there. You can see on the screen right now, that's the Pinwheel tool set. And again, for $35, you can get the 6-inch size, or for $49.50, you can get the 12-inch Pinwheel tool set. So lots of great opportunities there. And right now through October, we're going to give you that digital download book for free. So definitely consider taking advantage of that. So let's go ahead and pick a winner. So we're going to go ahead and just pick it based on whoever was commenting during the views today. And so let me go ahead and get my winner dashboard pulled up here. And I see some of you commenting about the tutorial. Thank you so much. We love hearing your feedback on that class. And so we're going to pick from the 16 comments that we have here right now. And let's go ahead and see who the lucky winner is. All right. Oh, for a second, I thought it was going to be Melissa. And we know she already has that set and the book. Vera Coleman, you are the lucky winner of the wonderful Pinwheel book. That is the one that we explored today with all of the different design opportunities that you have. So I hope you enjoy that book. There was a question if you tape down the edges of the borders when sewing. I'll let Melissa answer that question. And but again, we appreciate all of you joining us today for our patchwork class, and we hope that you enjoyed it. WESTALEE Design has award-winning patchwork tools, and we simply don't feel like we've given them enough chance to shine. So every single second Thursday of 2024, we have been giving you an opportunity to explore the patchwork tools that WESTALEE Design created, and Leonie West, who is just a genius when it comes to design and just building in so many of the math and all of that into her design. So we hope you are enjoying those classes. You can find most of them right there on Facebook or YouTube to be able to explore a little bit further. And then there's a whole bunch more on our Sew Steady University. So Vera, congratulations on being our winner today. And thank you again all for joining us for our Patchwork Thursday. We'll be doing some replays on this over the weekend. If you want to watch it again, you're more than welcome to do that. And then you can also just click that link that we sent in the email. So have a wonderful day, everyone. And Vera, go ahead and email us at info@sewsteady to claim your prize.